So, what do we know about Chapter 12? Guys, we are going to go through 10 things that we know about Chapter 12. But first, I've got a little surprise for you guys.
I've been expecting you.
So guys, yes, this is my kind of face reveal, but it doesn't take an awful lot to actually find out what I look like anyway. I have uploaded quite a few videos on this channel with my face, you know, vlogs, things like that. So guys, this is me and antics, and this is my little Harry Potter cave that I live in. This is you right now. You are under the stairs. So guys, you now have a face as to what antics actually is. So here I am. But anyway guys, if you guys are new around here, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, as it does help out the video and channel tremendously.
Man, this feels so weird.
So now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to go through 10 things that we know in Chapter 12. Now sit back and relax, because this one could potentially be a long one. So, thing number 1 is the words that Minitoon gave us in the interview that we gave him. And those words were stay, illusions, and choose. So we asked Minitoon to describe Chapter 12 with 3 words. And those are the words that Minitoon did give us. So that's stay, illusions, and choose. Now, what those words could mean, I'm just going to summarise as to what we thought it could mean. Now, we know that Creekcraft did think that maybe George Pig could be staying with us because we've been looking after him and things like that, but I don't think that that's going to happen. So I'm not actually entirely sure of what stay could mean. I did have the idea that potentially we're going to tell George to stay again and he's not going to listen, like we did with the sisters, and he's now playing hide and seek with the sisters, and now he's came back to us in Chapter 12. So guys, I'm really not sure of what stay could actually mean. However, for illusions, I do have an idea. Now, we saw a comment basically saying that maybe the infected can see the dead. And that could be the reason as to why we can see Bunny in Chapter 11. And that could be the reason why we see Doggy in Chapter 4 or 5, I can't remember which one it is. It's the hospital anyway, but that's potentially the reason why we saw Doggy, and maybe that's the reason why Mr. P can see us in Chapter 11. But guys, that does mean that potentially we, the police officer, don't forget, we are the police officers, we could potentially actually be infected. So that's what we thought illusions could stand for. Now, then he gave us another word, which was choose. And we think that potentially choose could be something to do with choosing who you want to save. Now, I did upload a video on Saturday of trying to basically show who we were going to be saving, or like just basically explaining what this choose could actually mean. So potentially we're gonna have maybe one vaccine or something, and we've got to try and choose one character to try and save at the end of the storyline. And then from there it kind of gives you, like, I don't know, a few different endings as to how Piggy could end. Something like that. Maybe that's how choose is gonna plan out. Point number 2. We did get a new map leak, and it should be on the screen somewhere right now. So this is what the map leak looked like. So it obviously was in like Mr. P's lair looking type thing, and this is just basically the very small sort of leak that we did get. Now, it doesn't give us an awful lot. We know that there's a great big black tunnel just down there, so we don't know exactly what could be beyond that point, but that's basically thing number 2 that did get leaked to us. Thing number 3, now we know that there is going to be a Mr. Bull skin coming to Piggy Chapter 12. This skin is brought to us by Tenuous Flea. So we believe that this Tenuous Flea YouTuber, or whatever we want to call him, I think he's a YouTuber, but he basically creates all of these skins. I don't know whether to call, what I'm saying is I don't know whether to call him a YouTuber or to call him like a Roblox creator sort of thing. But what he basically does, I've seen what he does, is he creates a lot of like Roblox skins, and then he puts them onto YouTube. So he kind of merged the two together. But this Tenuous Flea is kind of a guy that has been creating loads of like prototypes of Piggy skins, and then Minitoon has then seen it and then said, you know what, you can actually have a skin in Chapter 12. So that's kind of where that's then, you know, found its way in. Now, thing number 4, a robot army. Now we do know that Mr. P's eye, now I actually haven't really like covered this in any of my videos yet, but we do know that Mr. P's eye is from the character Robbie. So if you look at Robbie, you can clearly see that his eye is missing and he's got like cords coming out of his eye from where that eye has been taken. And then we see Mr. P in chapter 11, and that's where you clearly see that Mr. P has taken Robbie's eye. Now what that eye could do, we're not entirely sure, but we're pretty sure that Robbie is basically like a CCTV type of guy. So Robbie is basically just like patrolling the mall, if you like. Thing number 5. Now guys, we did interview Minitoon quite some weeks ago, but they were uploaded ever so recently. Minitoon did actually say in that interview that he will not be answering everything. So yeah, that's crazy. So that he's definitely gonna be leaving us on like a cliffhanger, and like we don't know what to expect at this point. So what is he going to answer? We don't know, but all we do know for chapter 12 is that he will not be answering everything. We may not even find out who TSP is going to be.
And if you do that, oh, Minitoon, oh, we are not going to be friends.
I do hope that the big things are going to be answered, because if the big things are not going to be answered, well, if let's put it this way, if the big things aren't going to be answered, then I'm almost certain that maybe like a season 2 of Piggy will be coming out. And I really, really do hope that there is going to be a season 2 coming out. And if you guys do as well, then make sure to let us know in the comment section down below, and really let Minitoon know we want a season 2, because this game is like no other. Honestly, it's doing so well. But yeah, Minitoon won't be answering everything, so guys, expect to be left on a cliffhanger. Thing number 6, we know that George is infected. As seen in chapter 11.5 on the distorted memory map, we do get to see George actually becoming infected in the end screens. So what could this mean? That could mean that if George Pig was infected, that maybe Giraffe, Mimi, Zizzy, Pony, literally so many characters could be infected right now, and we actually have no idea how it's going to like work out. Like, George Pig is infected, maybe we are infected, maybe Giraffe is infected, and maybe Zizzy's sisters are infected. Like, everyone could be infected right now. That's definitely something that we wanted to keep an eye out for in chapter 12. Like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people infected, and guys,
I wouldn't be surprised if we are infected.
like, that is actually a possibility that we are infected. And then that would link up as to why we saw Doggy when going into the hospital.
We're just all infected.
Thing number 7 is deaths. Now we know that no one wants to talk about deaths, who could potentially die, but in chapter 12 I'm almost certain that someone is going to die, maybe more than one person. And guys, I think I have an idea as to who I think might actually die. And that's going to link into my next thing, which is Mr. P being good. Now, the reason why we think that Mr. P could actually be good is because when we interviewed Minitoon, once again, we did actually get to find out like quite a lot of stuff with Minitoon. When we interviewed him, he did say that he's not going to let us know whether whether he thinks that Mr. P is good or bad. It could be 50-50. And to be honest, I don't think actually many people have said Mr. P is going to be a good person. So what made Minitoon bring up that comment?
Because it was not a question that I asked him.
Minitoon picked that one out of thin air. Minitoon brought up himself that Mr. P is 50-50 good or bad. So that could only mean one thing. Everybody thinks that Mr. P is a bad person. But surely if this is like a 50-50 sort of thing, he's only going to be good. Now, linking back to my previous thing, because we think that Mr. P is a bad person, but all he was trying to do was save his wife and basically get like a vaccine to try and save his wife, it's kind of all just spiraled out of control. So here's how I think it's gonna go. I think that we're going to find out that Mr. P is actually going to be a good person, and then what he's going to do is he's going to sacrifice his life for whatever reason, and then he is going to die. Mark my words, guys. Mr. P is going to be a good person, and then I feel like he could potentially die here. Thing number 9. Now, we do know that there is going to be a game mode following Piggy after chapter 12. So that is one thing that we do know. But what we don't know is what the game mode is going to be. However, Minitoon did give us a hint in the interview once again. He said that this has been suggested since season 3. Now, what could that be? I feel like it's going to be only one thing that this is going to be, guys, and I think it is going to be a boss fight. It has been going around so much that there is going to be a boss fight in Piggy. Now, I don't believe that there's going to be any boss fight coming to chapter 12. Like, that's just not going to work. However, I feel like this game mode could well potentially be something like boss fight related. So that's a few things that I'm actually quite clear on at the moment. Like, I feel like this new game mode that's going to be coming out is definitely going to be a boss fight. Almost definitely. It's not 100%, but I'm pretty certain that it is going to be a boss fight. And the final thing that we know about chapter 12 could well be Bunny's return. Now, we did get like a little bit of a sneak peek in chapter 11 that Bunny was a shadow. You saw her up in the tower, and everyone saw it like pretty much on the day, if not after the day, and it just left everybody in a world of questions. Is Bunny going to return? How is she going to return? Is she going to return infected? Is she going to return with just her soul? How is Bunny going to return? And at this point, nobody knows. Literally nobody knows, guys. But how do you guys think that Bunny is going to return? Do you think that she's going to return infected? Or do you think that she's going to return good and maybe it's just her soul? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. So guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video and my lovely face reveal. But if you guys would like to follow me, then make sure to go and follow me over on Twitter. That's probably where I'm most active, on Twitter. So if you guys would like to tweet at me or anything like that, I more than likely try and reply to absolutely everybody that does tweet at me. I do miss the occasional tweet, but if you guys do want to get in contact with me and, you know, say hello, or I can say hello back, then make sure to go and follow me over on Twitter. But hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we shall see you all in the next one.